G'day everybody. I want to talk about, once again, you don't believe people's words until you know them and see the sectors yourself and stuff like that. You take it in, you go, oh yeah, that could be true, that's no good, if that is, and then you go get your answer. And time and looking gets you that. Till then, if you believe it, and that is because you believe that they're saying the truth, and if they fuck you over, then you're going to get fucked over, or you're just gullible, or you're lazy and don't care. Right? But I want to talk about the police and why I wouldn't be a police officer. Right? Now, I'd love to be a person in the system to help the people. That's what I do. But I don't want to be a person in the system to get along with all the rest of them out there to control the people, you see. And so I talk about things just like with religion, why I couldn't be in such a group, 100%. Right? If I got forced to, of course, we can all be in certain areas. And I'd rather be in that shittier country than that one, you get it? But what if I had my own choice of freedom and the knowledge I know now and the things I've learned and the experience I went through, I would not join the police force. And I've said that for many, many years now. Right? And I wouldn't do that because they're bullies. Right? They run for the big man. They could work for the devil. Right? As long as they get paid and as long as it says that it's the law. Because the devil's law and the atheist law is just make it up, and you can make the law every day. They don't have a book to follow. It constantly changes their book, which is the law, right? They don't use science and logic and common sense. They don't use life lessons. They just make them and fail and repeat and scream at each other, fail, repeat and scream at each other. Check out the politicians around the world. 100% fact, right? And so when it comes to the police, and you know here in Australia the police are starting to do exactly what I'm talking about and are quitting their jobs and not doing certain things, which they should do a lot. They've hit a point where they've got a lot of things to complain about. They should have did it a while ago. But once you fix it, you get one little thing, you'd be able to fix one little thing at a time as it turns up, right? And that'll save having many problems, right? Because if you don't fix anything, then you get a whole bunch of many problems when we can look back why we got many problems. As things weren't fixed, people just followed the line, right? No matter what line it was, right? As they all don't want to get into trouble, right? And what they do is a police officer will go make their job easy. So what is a person that wants an easy job? I've talked about people, if they've got an excuse and this and that, I've done it myself, I've seen people do it all the time, right? They will take that as smacko break, I get a bit bored, I'm going to go do this, I might go to the toilet this time, that might time to take some time off, to make your job easy, right? As you don't really have a passion. The best way to get someone to work for you is someone who's passionate about what they do. A newcomer's passion sometimes is their passion to work, right? And that's why a lot of people like young people and so on. But it's good to have someone who's passionate in it, not someone going, oh, I'm just here because I had to get one, right? And they're the worst type of workers. And if you have a whole bunch of them out there that are like that, that's why you got a whole bunch of shit workers, because they can't get the job they want. It's a little bit like me not getting my sport back in high school. For PE, I got volleyball at one stage because time I got to pick, right, and everyone gets to pick and hand in, and then it just goes do-do-do-do-do-do, and the time you get your name in there you miss out. It's just how systems work in certain areas, right? And I had to play volleyball once, and I'm like, oh my God, volleyball, seriously? Right, I'm a person that liked to play street hockey, wanted to choose the shooting, right? You could be able to shoot and Cora High at that time and do clay shooting, right? I wanted to do that, but no, you need to do certain things, and I was going to apply for it and stuff like that, but I couldn't even get in the course because everyone wanted it, and then people with the money and already did it, and so on, right? So in the end, I ended up just getting volleyball or tennis or some other mitten bat. It was all lower ones than volleyball, right? So I picked volleyball. And I played volleyball with the girls. There's a couple of boys there, right? As it's mainly a girl sport. And I didn't really like it. Right? But over time, I learned to love it a little bit. You learn to love things when you go into it. At the end, I was playing it a little bit and started talking and enjoying it and actually wanting to play instead of going, oh, volleyball, yeah, I'll stand over here and stuff like that. Right? And so why I wouldn't join the police is they like to do the easy way out. Make your job easy. Right? Make yourself like you're doing something. How do you do something if you want to make the job easy? Right? And what you do is, say you had a system that's flooded with high drugs and guns and all sorts of things. what you do is you waste some of your police force, or the lazy ones will. They won't go for those cases. There's police get to choose cases and stuff. You know, have you heard about that? And be on it as long as they think and not, right? It's up to their discretion, which is sadly some things need to be checked up if things should be stopped or not. And is the guy actually a good copper or not, or a detective or not? You know what I mean? And so what they do, these lazy ones, as far as I'm concerned, and they can debate me all they want, and sometimes you don't have to be lazy to pull up little things. But if you see it a lot where that happens more than the other, then they're more likely lazy, right? And so a lazy police system will pick on small people, as you see overseas. They pick on all the poor people. They can't even go in there. They're all like black people, as they used to say back in the day. Right? They class you as black. They don't care. You don't got no money, right? It's all corruption. More corruption in those countries, the more you see that. We've got it in movies, right? Where you go to Mexico and no use going to the police because they'll just put a report down. Doesn't that sound like here now? In all country people, you can. All that's going to happen is put a report down. They probably won't even check it because there's a million over there, and they're not going to pick it up unless they like you or they're your friend, which is their discretion to now do the job. You get it? That's sad. I see that. I wouldn't want to work in such an area, right? And I couldn't work in a certain religion area where I try to tell it's true and to you to believe it when I've got some parts I can pick out, right? So I can't do that, right? So that's why I try to do a religion myself, which is what I started, so I can talk about what I believe in and debate with it without a loophole. And if there's a loophole there, well, we better fix it because that doesn't look good or is good, is it? Right? And so what you'll see is these police officers doing lots of fines. They've done this before. If you go back to 60 Minutes here and that, where certain police areas try to get their money up as they get government funding plus funding through fines and stuff like that. I'm not quite sure, but it's similar to that. And some police stations get more than others, which is, I can see in a way sort of wrong, and I have to look at it before I can complain too much in that area how they run it. But if they run it like that, I would find that's wrong, where they get to keep their own little money, as it can favour certain police stations, and then they go, well, we do this and this is why we got money. And perhaps if you had people like that or did that more often, and what it does is it creates more of a problem. Everyone wants to be the North Korean dude in the end, you know what I mean? Because he's allowed to do it, right? If they're allowed to do it, people will start to envy it. It's a human thing. It's how we get the bad guys, because they tell you there's no God, just shot him in there, I've got the money. Isn't it cool to be bad? Right? It's all about convincing a human being which way they want to go with the education brain they've got. And they do decisions all the time. They're quick and all sorts of things because they like to feel what they're in the now, right? And so you'll see these police officers doing the lowest thing. They'll do a lot of fines to get their money up. They'll pick on little areas that they're easy to get, like bullies do. They pick on little people. Come on, come out, come on. I know you're going to do this, or this will be easy. Come on. Oh, here's a tobacco place. We'll easily be able to find something here. As we've heard companies say, they're allowed to do a certain thing and then they're not allowed to, sort of get set up by these systems in the end too, which is sad. And they pick on all these areas, and why you still see all the other areas thrive. Now you do hear that they, when they do these small areas, good thing about it apparently is that they can get some information about maybe the higher ones, right? But a lot of times the lower ones don't really know about the higher ones. Occasionally they do, but you don't go around picking on the small ones and creating even more enemies, because they see that and how they get picked on and get done, and other people are still going around going, maybe you need to go higher. You ever heard me say that before? That's shocking. That's actually the system that's trying to put you down, right? You look at it with certain bullies, how they do their tricks and tactics, right, to try to get you down, which I'll talk about later on when it comes to people around me and their tricks and tactics. And I'll explain to you with slideshow and everything if you want. You know, our teachers can explain things like that and go, now this part here, let's talk about it, right? And then this one here, that's what I'll be doing at court in the near future about certain things, because sometimes certain things you have to line it up and you need money for these things, which is sad because the more time and the bigger, long people drag it, the more money it costs to get a lawyer and to talk about it. It's like that. Everyone attacks with the money, and apparently if you've got more money, you just win. That's this blue planet. And countries will suck up and get along and won't really attack for real as long as their bubble's happy, and the people in there are all chicken and don't really want the world to be what it is. They say they want to help, but when it comes to their life and that, they really don't. And if you get a society that sits at home and does more things and don't connect, you'll have a more society that won't care, true? And so they'll pick on all little people, try to get these things and tactics. They should be able to do their job themselves if they just know how to do their job, the police officers. They wouldn't have to get so much information.